The following program contains coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
So this story occurred a couple of years ago, and I did get a chance to talk about it. So this is actually going to be a very, very huge update. So I want you guys to take a look at this and listen to this and just understand that the story is going to be heart-wrenching, but at the same time, there's nothing worse than what these children had to go to. And I at least believe that we can hear their stories out. Listen to their stories, because there's nothing worse than what we listen to as opposed to what they had to live and die through, okay? So let me give you guys a disclaimer before we get into the story details. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So I'm using a website I don't normally use, but I will give them credit because I'm reading the article, 2fab.com. Thank you for the article, because I thought theirs was pretty comprehensive, pretty simple to read through. Can we get a hashtag babies for benefits? Because that is one of my most popular hashtags created by the AFC, created by me, hashtag babies for benefits. Because I believe that too many people have children only to misuse, abuse them, and get benefits off of them. They don't care about these kids, whether it be Section 8 food stamps, child support, attention from a man, attention from people, child support, car vouchers, for a lot of different reasons. Even just, I think I even hear that just they use kids. Nonetheless, a woman in Georgia moved out of her house in 2023, but apparently left her disabled daughter behind. And this is a very horribly looking woman. She's horribly looking. That is a bad looking woman. Jesus. Like, she looks like a bag of potatoes, russet potatoes, just bad looking. Jeez. Anyway, she moved out and left her disabled daughter behind. Now, what kind of love is that? She's now facing life in prison without the possibility of parole for abandoning her child. Alondra Hobbs, who's 29 years old, that is a hard, does she look 29? That woman looks like she's somebody's great-grandmother that died and came back from the grave, crawled out of the ground. Look at her. That is a bad-looking woman. That is a bad, stinky-looking creature. Look at that. There's just you can't find a good picture of that woman. Beautiful little baby. This beautiful little baby that she did this to. Beautiful kid, and did this to this kid. And she wants somebody to feel sorry for her. Alondra Hobbs, 29 years old, allegedly, was convicted on 2 counts of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, and 2 counts of first-degree cruelty to children after pleading guilty, according to DeKalb County District Attorney's Office. During the sentencing portion of her court hearing, Hobbs' attorney said, according to Law and Crime, she does not want me to make excuses for what she's done. She does not want a trial. She wants to take responsibility, something that she has not done. It is something she wishes to do now. So let's talk about how they found this baby's body. The DeKalb County Police Department responded to a call in an unincorporated Decatur in unincorporated Decatur on June 25th of 2023. Sorry, I get a little tongue-tied. Where a man said he found a dead child in a closet of an empty apartment. The man reported smelling a foul odor before discovering the body. When officers arrived, they found the body of 7-year-old Olivia, Alivia, Olivia Jordan, who is, let me get her off the screen. Olivia. right here. Olivia Jordan, or Olivia Hobbs Jordan, found her strapped in a stroller per the DA's office. They did a little digging and discovered that her mother, Hobbs, had moved out of the apartment about 4 months prior. The man who claimed to have called the police but chose to remain unidentified told the news that at the time the victim looked like a real mummy, Mummy, but you could tell it was a young girl by what she had on and by her hair. The man told the news outlet that he found the door to the apartment wide open that day, and it was when he got closer that he became overwhelmed by the smell. He said that inside he found the lights off and the house still filled with furniture and personal items as if somebody left in a hurry. He said he then noticed that the child when he saw the human arm hanging out of the closet. I had to stand there for a minute or two before I realized what it was. It was a dead child. After the mother, Hobbs, was apprehended by police 5 days later, she allegedly admitted that she moved out months ago and left her daughter behind, purportedly telling them she had done so because her life was too much. Hobbs told authorities that Jordan was autistic per WANF, while medical records reviewed by the news outlet revealed she also suffered from cerebral palsy-related seizures. An arrest warrant reviewed by Law and Crime alleged that Hobbs had left her daughter strapped to a stroller in that closet with no intention of returning. Eventually, per Law and Crime, Hobbs allegedly admitted to police that her daughter was still alive when she pushed into the closet and left her there. When she was pushed into the closet and left her there. She reportedly said, per prosecutors in court, she did what she did to Olivia or she was going to kill herself. But y'all notice she didn't actually hurt herself at all. But she did to her kid. This is a very tragic case. There's always options, said the judge per Law and Crime. There's very rare cases where a murder case does not involve a weapon, a physical weapon, and sometimes hands are a physical weapon. And it's difficult. How do you process that? Suggesting that they believe Hobbs had no remorse for abandoning her daughter to die, the prosecution noted that she continued to cash her daughter's $900 monthly disability checks. Where are my hashtags? Hashtag babies for benefits. I'm going to read that again. She continued to cash the MFing checks that her daughter allowed her to have, and she still basically killed her daughter and still collected benefits off of the back of this child. Hashtag babies for benefits. If you see anybody say the word hashtag babies for benefits, please tell them they need to give credit to the AFC because that's where it came from. She continued to cash her daughter's $900 a month disability checks. They also noted that she started dating immediately after leaving Jordan behind. What a nasty bitch. So she was going to continue to keep doing what was producing kids that she didn't want anyway. Isn't that ridiculous? She started dating immediately after she abandoned her kid. That is just unthinkable. When she was cheated on in that relationship, she purportedly told investigators that day was the worst day of her life. Selfish. That was the worst day of her life, not killing her kid. That wasn't the worst day of her life. getting cheated on by a man who realized that this woman wasn't shit. That was the worst day. All the while, neighbors and relatives were reportedly telling police that Hobbs had began to tell them that her daughter was staying with her father and his family. Here's the funny part about that. It's not funny, but damn. It's just damn stupid. You can just see the stupid in her eyes. She told neighbors that the kid was staying with her family and the biological father. Guess what this stupid ass bitch could have did? She could have actually have just left the child with the biological father for him to take care of this baby and raise this baby and do what needs to be done. Do you know why she didn't do that? Because she wanted to keep getting the paychecks. That was it. The irony is that while she's going to be in prison, probably for life, guess what she's not going to get? The mother effing paychecks. So the paychecks were going to stop anyway. So since they were going to stop anyway, you could have just said, hey, take the kid. Benefits are going to stop early, but at least now I can go on with my life and not have to spend my life in prison. You can't be this level of dumb and fat and ugly and stinky and selfish. These people go above and beyond stupid. This woman had options at every turn and still chose stupidity. Prosecutors also brought up when investigators asked Hobbs if she wanted her daughter to have a funeral, with the defendant's apparent response being that she didn't care because no one has ever helped to raise her. Wow. Olivia Jordan did not deserve the slow, painful, and lonely death she suffered at the hands of her mother, DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston said. I extend my deepest condolences to her family, and I hope that they take some comfort in knowing Alondra Hobbs is being held accountable for her actions. I only got more cuss words, man. That's sad.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
You just wonder, are people really this damn freaking stupid? And you just have to look at examples like this. Yes, some people are just this damn stupid. Y'all do me a favor and please click that thumbs up and share this story because I think more people need to see it. So this is the most recent news story, and then I'm going to show you 2 previous news videos so you can kind of get a better grasp of the story.
A Decatur mother has pled guilty to killing her 7-year-old daughter. You might remember this story. Prosecutors say Alondra Hobbs shut her 7-year-old daughter, Olivia Hobbs Jordan, in a closet and left her there with no intentions of coming back. It happened sometime in 2023 between February 28th and June 25th at the Hidden Valley Apartments near Candler Road. A neighbor found the child's decomposing body after he noticed this bad smell coming from the apartment. Hobbs was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Family of a 7-year-old recently found dead in the closet of a DeKalb County apartment complex is now raising money for her funeral expenses and demanding justice as well. Her name is Olivia Hobbs Jordan. She was just 7 years old. Her mother, Alondra Hobbs, was arrested Friday and is now being charged with murder for her death. But her court appearance scheduled for today was pushed back. And tonight, the little girl's family is talking with our very own Teresa Bowles for the very first time.
Small memories.
I remember when I first met her, she was like 6 months. Me and my husband used to spoil her. She was my everything.
for a life cut too short.
I would have never thought my daughter would do something like this. I'm really lost for words.
Tammy Matthews' daughter, Alondra Hobbs, is facing felony murder and second-degree cruelty charges in the death of 7-year-old Olivia Hobbs Jordan.
Because every morning I wake up, I just shake my head.
DeKalb County police say this sweet face was found dead at Hidden Valley Apartments. The man who found her described her as looking like a mummy. An arrest warrant obtained by 11 Alive Hobbs is accused by investigators of placing the child in a stroller, pushing it into a closet, then leaving it with no intention on returning.
Olivia wasn't supposed to be in no closet. She deserved to live a little longer than what she did.
As the family awaits autopsy results, Olivia's aunt, Latrice Robinson, is hoping for a different outcome.
Really happy. Right. Because maybe she had something going on. Maybe somebody could have killed the baby. And maybe she ain't had nothing to do with it. She probably was scared to come forward.
Olivia is Matthew's oldest granddaughter. It's been a little over a week, and she says she doesn't even know.
Y'all notice how sad that is, how it's always somebody that comes out making an excuse, and some people might think I'm crazy, but you see it right there in that news video. These people literally be coming to the rescue and be trying to just defend this. Like, it's indefensible. You can't defend this. And now it came out, and we got the real story. So we get to look at this 2 years prior, so we get to look in hindsight and see that woman is literally an idiot. Well, y'all don't know what happened, y'all. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all don't know what happened, y'all. This is what I be when I do that expression. That's the type of person I'm talking about.
Where to start when it comes to funeral expenses.
I never even seen a casket that little, you know.
Matthew says she hasn't spoken to her daughter and doesn't want to because she could have asked for help. She had no idea what was going on, but now she has to come up with a short-term plan with feelings of disbelief for the long haul.
Justice should be served.
No one plans for a funeral for a 7-year-old.
Afternoon, a DeKalb County mother is scheduled to make her first court appearance. She is facing charges after police say the body of her 7-year-old daughter was found inside the closet of an apartment back on June 25th. 11 Alive's Ariana Manish joining us this morning from the DeKalb County Courthouse with the very latest information and also how this body was discovered. Ariana.
Well, Aisha, the mother, Alondra Hobbs, she's facing second-degree murder and cruelty charges, and she'll make her first court appearance hours from now. Her daughter, Olivia Hobbs Jordan, she was found last Sunday inside of a closet at the Hidden Valley Apartment. She was only 7 years old. A neighbor discovered the body when he noticed a front door to an apartment wide open at one of the buildings. He entered that apartment and walked into the bedroom and noticed a door to the closet was open and something was hanging out of that door. He tells 11 Alive that it was a human arm. The man said it appeared the body had been inside that closet for quite some time due to its condition. When we spoke to that neighbor, he says he also has kids too, and he cannot fathom what he found. Take a listen.
Stand there for like a minute or two to just realize that what it was. It's a dead child in the closet. You know how Mummy looks? She look like a real mummy.
Now a GoFundMe has been set up to help this family with funeral expenses for the 7-year-old. It seems as if this GoFundMe was set up by the child's grandmother, who also asked for prayers as his family deals with what she calls a horrific tragedy. Meanwhile, the mother, Alondra Hobbs, she'll make her first court appearance at 1 p.m. today. Back.
So it makes me wonder what happened with that GoFundMe money. I don't know if they got it or what, but nonetheless, we'll see this woman do a life sentence in prison for what she did. These babies couldn't speak for themselves nor defend themselves. And this mother just proved to make every bad decision that you could possibly make. Not a good person, and it's what she did is flat out unforgivable. Okay? So thank you guys so much. She's sitting there crying. She's only crying for herself. She didn't care for anybody but herself. So I don't feel sorry for her. But thank you guys so much. If anything bad happens in jail to her, so be it. But thank you, and keep these babies in your prayers. Olivia, R.I.P.